Most people over 60 are told the same thing about heavy, aching legs in the morning. Just get up and move around, it will loosen up on its own. It sounds sensible. It sounds safe. But here is what nobody tells you. Moving around alone does not fix why your legs feel like sandbags the moment your feet hit the floor, and it does nothing to protect the independence those legs are supposed to give you. That heaviness is not just age. It is a signal, and it has a cause you can actually work with. In rehabilitation and vascular clinics, this complaint shows up every single morning. Older adults describe legs that feel swollen, stiff, and strangely weak for the first hour of the day. It is one of the most common things people quietly stop mentioning because they assume nothing can be done. Today, I am going to give you 4 things that target the real reason your legs feel heavy after 60, plus the one insight most 12-minute appointments never have time to cover. Each one is simple enough to do at the edge of your bed or beside a kitchen counter. And the number 1 item on this list is something almost nobody talks about. Stay with me until the end, because that one can change how you approach the next 10 years of standing, walking, and staying on your own 2 feet. Here is why your own doctor may never get to this. A standard appointment runs about 12 minutes. In that window, they check your blood pressure, review your medications, and address the one urgent thing you came in for. Heavy legs in the morning sound vague. They do not fit neatly into a billing code, so they get waved away with keep walking. That is not your doctor failing you. It is a system with no time built in for prevention, or for the slow, quiet changes that decide whether you stay mobile. I want to be clear about something. I am not here to sell you a supplement or scare you into a course. This channel exists to give you the science a 12-minute appointment never has time to cover. No miracle pills, no fear. Just the mechanism and the fix, explained plainly, so you can decide for yourself. And the stakes here are not small. Heavy, unreliable legs in the morning are how a fall starts. They are how a person begins to dread the stairs, to skip the morning walk, to lean on the furniture. This is about staying the person who gets up and goes, not the person who waits for help. So tell me something in the comments. How old are you, and where are you watching from this morning? I read these, and it tells me exactly who I am talking to. Now let me show you the one mechanism behind all of this. When you lie flat all night, the fluid in your body no longer has to fight gravity. It drifts and settles into the tissues of your lower legs and ankles. At the same time, the muscles that normally squeeze your veins and push blood back up toward your heart go quiet for 7 or 8 hours. Think of your leg veins like a series of canal locks on a river. During the day, every step you take works those locks, lifting the water uphill, back toward your heart. All night, the locks sit still. The water pools at the bottom. By morning, your lower legs are holding extra fluid and sluggish blood, and that is the heaviness you feel. It is not weakness. It is a delivery system that has been parked overnight. Please do not skip this section. It is the key to everything that follows. Every one of the 4 fixes works by waking those locks back up faster and more completely than shuffling to the bathroom ever will. If this is already making sense to you, tap the like button so more seniors can find it. Number 5 is the seated ankle pump, done before your feet ever touch the floor. This is the very first thing your legs need, and almost nobody does it. Here is why it works. Remember those canal locks. The single most powerful pump for moving pooled fluid out of your lower legs is the calf muscle, and it activates the instant you flex your foot. Pointing and flexing your ankle squeezes the deep veins of the calf and pushes that stagnant overnight fluid back into circulation. You are manually working the locks before you ask your legs to carry your full weight. Large studies of circulation in older adults have consistently shown that active ankle motion measurably increases blood flow return from the legs. Here is the protocol, and the numbers matter. Before you sit up while you are still lying down, straighten one leg. Point your toes away from you slowly, then pull them back toward your shin. That is 1 repetition. Do 20 of them on each leg, at a steady count, not rushed. The whole thing takes about 90 seconds. The most common mistake is doing them fast and shallow. Slow and full is what moves the fluid. If lying flat is hard on your back, do this sitting on the edge of the bed instead, 1 foot lifted slightly off the floor. If you feel any sharp cramp in the calf, stop and gently massage it. Do not push through it. A dull working feeling is fine. Sharp pain means stop. Pair this with something simple. Before you even start, take 3 slow, deep breaths. Deep breathing lowers the pressure in your chest and actually helps pull blood back up from your legs, because your breath works like a second pump above the heart. But ankle pumps only move the fluid that is already sitting there. They do not address the stiffness that has locked into the joints and the long muscles overnight. That is a different problem, and it needs a different move. Which brings me to number 4. Number 4 is the supported standing calf raise, your first upright move of the day. Here is the mechanism. Once you are on your feet, you need to convert that seated priming into a full weight-bearing pump. When you rise up onto the balls of your feet and lower back down, your calf muscles contract against your body weight, and that is the strongest natural push your circulation gets. It is the difference between idling the engine and putting the car in gear. It also gently reloads the stiff ankle and knee joints that went rigid overnight, waking the tendons and telling your nervous system the legs are back online. Here is the protocol. Stand behind a sturdy kitchen counter or the back of a heavy chair. Rest your hands on it lightly for balance, not for holding yourself up. Rise up onto the balls of both feet. Hold for 1 second at the top, then lower slowly, taking a full 2 seconds on the way down. That slow lowering is where the real work happens. Do 10 to 12 of these. It should take about 60 seconds. If balance is a concern, stand in a doorway so you have something on both sides to touch. Keep most of your weight on your own legs, using your fingertips only. If you feel unsteady or dizzy, sit down immediately. That is your stop condition. Never work through dizziness. Pair this with your ankle pumps from a moment ago. The pumps prime the fluid while you are still in bed, and the calf raises clear it out under full load once you stand. Done together, they empty the legs far better than either one alone. But even a cleared, pumped leg will stiffen right back up if the long chain of muscles from your hip to your heel stays short and tight. Movement is only half the picture. The tissue itself has to lengthen. That is what number 3 is for. Number 3 is the standing hamstring and calf lengthener, done at the counter. Here is why this matters, and it connects straight back to our canal locks. Overnight, the long muscles down the back of your legs, the hamstrings and calves, settle into their shortest position. Short, tight muscle is stiff muscle, and stiff muscle clamps down on the very veins that are trying to drain your legs. Lengthening that tissue does 2 things at once. It restores the range of motion you need to walk with a normal stride, and it releases the soft squeeze on your circulation. Think of it like straightening a kinked garden hose. The water was always there. You just had to open the path. Physical therapists working with older adults consistently use gentle daily lengthening to restore morning mobility, and the research on flexibility and aging is clear that range of motion responds at any age. Here is the protocol. Stand facing your counter and arm's length away. Place one heel forward on the floor with the legs straight and toes pointing up, resting the heel on the ground. Hinge gently forward from the hips, keeping your back flat, until you feel a mild stretch down the back of that thigh and calf. Hold it for 20 seconds. Do not bounce. Then switch legs. Do each leg twice, so about 80 seconds total. If reaching forward strains your back, sit on the edge of a firm chair, extend one leg with the heel on the floor, and lean forward just slightly instead. The stretch should feel like a gentle pull, never a sharp or burning pain. If it bites or pulls sharply, ease off at once. Mild tension is the target, sharp is the stop signal. Pair this lengthener with warmth. If your legs are especially stiff, do this a few minutes after a warm shower, or after resting a warm towel on your calves. Warm tissue lengthens more easily and more safely than cold tissue, but lengthening the muscle opens the path, and the pumps push the fluid, and yet none of it lasts if the fluid simply floods back down the moment you sit for breakfast. You need something that keeps the circulation working while you go about your morning. That is number 2. Number 2 is the slow morning walk with intention, the first 200 steps of your day. Here is the mechanism. Everything you have done so far primes and clears the legs in place. But circulation is not a one-time event. It is a rhythm. A short, deliberate walk turns your legs into a continuous pump, each step working the locks in sequence, keeping the fluid moving instead of letting it settle again. This is the move that carries the benefit of the first 3 out into your actual day. It is the bridge from exercise to living. Large clinical trials have consistently shown that light, regular walking improves circulation and lowers the risk of the blood pooling problems that make legs ache and swell. Here is the protocol. After your pumps, raises, and stretch, walk. Not a workout, not for distance. Just 200 steps at an easy, even pace, somewhere flat and safe, your hallway, your kitchen loop, or outdoors if the ground is dry. Focus on landing heel first and rolling through to your toes, because that full foot roll is what fires the calf pump with every single step. 200 steps takes most people about 3 minutes. If 200 steps feels like too much, start with 100 and build up by 10 steps a week. If you feel any chest tightness or unusual breathlessness, stop and rest and mention it to your doctor. That is not a push-through symptom. Pair the walk with hydration. Drink a full glass of water when you wake, because overnight you lose fluid and slightly thicker blood moves more sluggishly, which makes the pooling worse. Water in, then walk. But here is the thing. All 4 of these move fluid and loosen tissue. Not one of them touches the reason the fluid pooled so heavily in the first place, or why it comes back morning after morning. That root cause is what the number 1 item finally addresses, and it is the piece almost nobody talks about. Number 1, the crown of this entire list, is elevating your legs above your heart the night before, done deliberately for the last part of your evening. Let me explain why this is the one that changes everything. Every fix so far has been about clearing the flood after it happens in the morning. This one prevents the flood from building overnight in the first place, and that is a completely different level of solution. Remember our canal locks and the pooling water. All night, gravity pulls fluid down into your lower legs because they sit below your heart for 7 or 8 hours. If you spend even a portion of your evening with your legs raised above the level of your heart, you reverse that gravity. Instead of collecting fluid, your legs drain it. You are letting the river run downhill toward your heart for once, clearing the lower legs before sleep instead of fighting the buildup after it. This is the deepest mechanism of the whole video, so stay with me. The reason morning heaviness keeps coming back is that each night the fluid gets a fresh 7-hour head start on you. Elevation takes that head start away. You wake with legs that were partly drained all night instead of fully loaded. The research base here is well established. Elevation of the legs to reduce lower limb swelling and improve venous return is standard, guideline consistent practice in vascular and rehabilitation care. It is one of the most reliably recommended non-drug measures there is. Here is the protocol, and this is the fullest one. So listen closely. In the last 30 to 60 minutes before bed, lie down on your bed or a sofa. Place your legs up so your feet and ankles rest higher than your heart. The key is the height. Your feet need to be above the level of your chest, not just propped on a low stool. Use 2 or 3 firm pillows under your calves and ankles, not under your knees, so the whole lower leg is supported and gently sloped upward. Aim for 15 to 20 minutes. You can do it while you read or watch television. The single most common mistake is putting the pillow under the knees, which bends the leg and traps the fluid instead of draining it. Support the calf and ankle, keep the leg long, and let gravity do the work. Now the safety piece, because this matters. Get up slowly afterward. Sit on the edge of the bed for a moment before standing, so you do not feel lightheaded from the position change. If you have been told you have heart failure or any serious heart condition, talk to your doctor before adding leg elevation, because in some heart conditions, shifting that much fluid at once needs medical guidance. For most people, it is gentle and safe, but your history comes first. If you feel breathless while your legs are raised, lower them and stop. Pair elevation with the seated ankle pumps we started with. Do a slow round of 20 ankle pumps while your legs are already elevated, and you combine gravity and the muscle pump at the same time, draining the legs faster than either alone. Evening elevation plus a few pumps is the single most powerful thing on this entire list. And this is the payoff I promised you at the very start. The reason almost nobody talks about this is that it is not a morning fix at all. It is the night before. The heaviness you feel at dawn was decided hours earlier while you slept. Change what happens the night before, and you change the morning you wake up to. That is how you protect the next 10 years of getting up on your own, without heavy legs deciding your day for you. Consider a typical case documented in the rehabilitation literature. A 74-year-old woman describes waking each morning with legs so heavy and swollen that she gripped the dresser just across her bedroom. The first hour of her day was the hardest, her ankles puffy and her steps short and uncertain. She had slowed her mornings to a crawl, given up her early walks, and started to fear the stairs before breakfast. She had begun waiting on the edge of the bed for several minutes, hoping the heaviness would pass before she dared to stand. What worried her most was not the discomfort. It was the feeling that her own legs could no longer be trusted, and that the independence she had always taken for granted was quietly slipping. Her routine was changed in small, safe steps, nothing strenuous. Ankle pumps before rising, 20 on each leg while still in bed. A set of supported calf raises at the kitchen counter, hands resting for balance. A gentle hamstring lengthener held at the counter, 20 seconds aside. A short 200-step walk with a full glass of water first. And most importantly, 15 minutes of legs raised above her heart each evening before bed, calves supported on pillows. Within a few weeks, the reported change was clear. The morning swelling eased, and her ankles were noticeably less puffy at dawn. She described her legs as lighter and more dependable the moment she first stood. She stopped reaching for the dresser to steady herself. She returned to her morning walk. Nothing dramatic, nothing overnight. Just a body given the chance to drain and move the way it was built to. So here is exactly what to do, starting now. Keep it in this order, and it takes only a few minutes. Tonight, spend 15 minutes with your legs elevated above your heart before bed. Calves on pillows, not knees. Tomorrow morning, before your feet touch the floor, do 20 slow ankle pumps on each leg. Then stand at your kitchen counter and do 10 to 12 calf raises, lowering slowly. Follow that with one hamstring lengthener held for 20 seconds on each leg. And finish with a 200-step walk and one full glass of water to start your circulation for the day. Think of someone in your life who grips the furniture in the morning, who has gone quiet about their heavy legs and slowed down because of them. Send this to them today. It may be the 4 minutes that gives them their mornings back. Tell me in the comments which of these you are starting tonight. Your answers decide exactly what I cover next. And if you want the science a 12-minute appointment never has time for, subscribe to this channel. Because staying on your own 2 feet is worth understanding. This video is education, not a diagnosis. Your own doctor knows your history, so bring this list to your next appointment. I'm Nathan Reeves. Don't forget to subscribe and live longer.